Hello, everyone. It's Christy, and I am here to introduce to you our 2026 version of the On the Case Challenge. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to have you back. It's been a while. So this is an immersive mystery experience, meaning it's a murder mystery that we're solving as the Junk Journal detectives. And so you get to be a part of the mystery instead of kind of observing it or hearing about it from the outside, right? So what'll happen is a murder will occur, right? And then over a period of time, evidence is going to be released to you. And you will be able to take that evidence, kind of analyze it, think about it. You can ask questions of the different characters within the game. And the way you would do that is you would go into the YouTube video, and in the comments, you would type out, so say you wanted to ask a question of the headmistress. So you would say, this is for the headmistress, and you would ask your question. And then the headmistress is going to come in, hopefully within 24 to 48 hours, and underneath your question, they're going to respond with their answer. And then you can ask questions of multiple characters. You can ask as many questions as you want. Ideally, once a week, I will transfer all of those questions over to our Facebook group for junk journals. And that way, everything kind of lives together in one space, right? So yeah, the characters can be questioned. You're going to follow your own leads. So you're going to be thinking about what you think is happening within the case, and you're going to be following that. You're going to be questioning that. You're going to be trying to discover more based on what you believe is going on, based on the evidence that's being presented to you. Now, that doesn't mean that you're investigating in a bubble, right? So the idea is that as we share information, on our weekly detective shares, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and as you're sharing images of your casebooks and as we're having discussions, that everybody's going to kind of work off of each other's thoughts and information, right? So say, for instance, I share my casebook and you share your casebook. You might see something in my casebook, or I might see something in your casebook. It gives me some new ideas. So these are the different ways that the case kind of evolves and we start to figure things out, right? Who knows where it'll take us? So there's no single right way to investigate the case, okay? There are some very standard things like the weekly evidence drops and the discussions that we'll have and the questions that you can ask and things like that. But there's no single right way. You can take this any way you want. You can develop your casebook any way you want. The most important thing to keep in mind here is that you are not watching a mystery, right? You are participating in one. So, like I said, you can develop your casebook any way you like. Keeping in mind that as the Junk Journal detectives, my personal style is the Junk Journal style, right? But yours might not be. So however you want to develop it, that is the way that you want to, that you should develop it, okay? So you can use any notebook, any journal, any binder, any folio, whatever you've got, whatever you want to use. You could use a sketchbook, you could use a composition notebook, you could use a series of file folders that you glue together. Anything that you can think of that you might want to use, go for it, because that is your style and that's what we want to see. We're excited to see what your style of casebook is. I am offering digitals in my Ko-fi shop, but these are entirely optional. Okay, completely optional. You do not need to purchase anything to play this game or solve this mystery. There are no purchase requirements. You do not have to use digitals. The very first case, and I think the second and third case that we did, I can't remember for sure, I used like magazine and catalog images. I found some images online and printed them because this was before I even started making digitals. Um, I did whatever. And so did everyone else. And it was so fun. Now, I'm offering the digitals to you. Um, of course, they're not free, but again, they're not required. Okay. They're just there as an option for you if you want to use them. Um, definitely use your own supplies if you prefer to use your supplies. There is no required format here. Okay, so let's take just a minute to talk about what you should expect from the case, okay? I do have a very simple schedule that I plan to follow throughout this case. On Mondays, you will find the case file releases. Now, what that means is on Monday, you're going to get new information from the case. It's going to be very much like this video. It's going to just be an informational type video. Where I'm going to tell you what's happening in the case at the time. Very often, this will include things like news articles. It will include detective notes, all of those sorts of things. It'll tell you what's going on in the investigation. You can expect those videos at 7 p.m. Central Time on Mondays. On Wednesdays, we have Detective Share Day. And what that means is you go into our Facebook group and you will share progress photos and, you know, where you're at in the investigation, what your thoughts are. Everyone who shares progress photos of their casebooks or any other shares will be entered into a drawing that will take place at the end of the month. Okay. Now, this is specific to Wednesday shares. So the things that you share on Wednesday will enter you into the drawing. That doesn't mean you can't share every day of the week. It just means that those Wednesday shares are very specific for this drawing. At the end of the month, I will draw a name, or probably do a random name generator will. But anyway, I will get a name in some form or fashion, and that person's going to win a prize. And then on Thursdays, we have Investigate with Me. Those are my videos where I am building my casebook, and I will be talking with you as I build my casebook and sharing those videos on Thursdays. There will be some discussion of theory, theory, casebook building, all of those things. On Saturdays, this is where we have additional interviews, evidence updates, supplemental materials, kind of unexpected drops, things of that nature. There will not always be a Saturday video. These are strictly as needed. So if we need it that week, there will be one. If we don't, there won't. Okay. Okay, and so continuing on about the Case Essentials collection, which is that collection of digitals that I'm going to offer. These will be coming out, or I expect these to come out on Wednesday of this week. Again, completely optional, right? Everything that you actually need to solve the case is going to be released during the investigation. That said, if you do want the Case Essentials collection, which is not complete yet, but I'm expecting to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 75 pages of images, if you do want that, it will be available to you in my Ko-fi shop. But exciting news, the Case Essentials is not the only extra fun that is available to you this year. I have developed some weekly supplemental materials called The Secrets from Blackwood Academy. These are a separate purchase. Again, these are not a requirement. This is totally an optional physical add-on that will be available in limited quantities in my Ko-fi shop. There is a new secret file being released every Sunday, and you have from Sunday until Friday morning at 8 a.m. to purchase it, because those are mailed on Friday afternoon. So from Sunday, weekly um, when the new weekly secrets are released, until Friday when they are mailed. Okay. And again, it will be very limited quantities, probably 10 or 15 each week will be all that's going to be available. Again, these are supplemental world building items. These are not required. They are not necessary to solve the case. These items are designed to kind of deepen the experience, but not to provide an advantage at all. And my friends, if that is not enough to get your detective brains just whirling with excitement, there are going to be other additional releases this year. There are going to be physical merchandise drops that are going to just appear throughout the investigation in my Ko-fi shop. These are going to be things like stickers, bookmarks, character dossiers, all kinds of fun stuff that is, again, supplemental materials, completely optional, but it's going to really add some depth to our investigations and make the whole thing even more fun. So be sure you're watching for those. There may also be digital mini collections that are released as the case progresses. All sorts of stuff is going to be coming available to you. And I'm working on something special on top of all of that I'm not really going to tell you about right now, because I want to be sure that it's completely doable before I release that information. But just know there's a lot of exciting stuff heading our way. And this year is going to be the best year for the On the Case Challenge. I'm so excited about it. Now, before you start to think that our entire gaming adventure here is going to revolve around my Ko-fi shop, which is definitely not the impression I want to give you. As I've said repeatedly throughout this video, you don't have to purchase anything to play this game. We are also going to be having live detective chats in our, in Discord. And we will be... that information is going to be coming very soon. That is going to be between me and Tara, who is your other host. Tara is our lead detective on the case, as she has been for a very long time. And as we get together and get more information about when we're going to do those Discord chats, I will be passing that information along to you. So it's almost time, detectives. It's almost time to get started. You should expect that this investigation is going to unfold over the course of several months. It's going to be an in-depth, immersive experience. We're going to have a really good time. We're going to create some fabulous case books, and we're going to solve some murder. No need to rush. Take your time. Follow the evidence. Enjoy the journey. Because it's going to be an experience like no other. So for now, detectives, I want to encourage you to gather your supplies, prepare your case books, get ready, because next week, on Monday, a murder will be announced.